folder we in settings.py we had to include it in installed apps.
Yes. So you have to go to settings.py file and you have to install. So you have to mention the installed app as my app. If you want, you can give a comment name like local apps. So it will be easy to see what are the apps that you have installed in your uh, project. Okay, so next step, what is the next step?
So next step is we had to create uh, in app folder we had to create urls.py file.
Okay, so in this
Uh, then URL patterns.
empty list, okay,
Yeah.
and then
Then in main project folder we had to include it in urls .py.
so here we are
We had to
mapping our
include
my app URLs to this actual project. To do
yeah
that, I have
for
to
me
include and then path, and here I have to mention the so what is the actual subpath for this app. So this subpath
yes
is the main project app, which means it will handle the main landing page data. So that's why I'm not giving any subpath. So which is empty subpath include. So in quotations, my app dot
dot
URLs.
urls.
Okay. So with this, we have linked our my app URLs to our project. Okay. And next,
So next step in
uh,
urls.py in we had to create views.
in URLs dot py,
In our app folder in views we had to firstly create views.
yeah. Okay. So first, let us replace this default page with our own page. So for that purpose, I am creating a view with name home page. Okay. So it should accept a request, and then we should return some response. To return some response, you have to import from django.http import http response.
HTTP.
Okay. So in this http response, you have to give the actual response, which is like homepage. So now, so we have created a view. So what should we do? We
We
have
had
to
to
give a
include
URL to this view. Okay. So to do that, you have to go to the app URLs page, and here you have to import from django.urls import path. Okay. So and you also we should also import this view function into this urls.py page. For that, from dot use import home page. Okay. So in this, you have to give the actual path. So here I'm giving empty path because it should this page should be displayed at the landing page. Okay. So landing page in the sense whatever your website is there. So whenever I call your website, so I should display this first landing page. So for that purpose, I'm not giving any additional path. Okay. So here I'm giving empty path. So here I should link the view I have created, and then I should give a name, unique name. So unique name is homepage. Okay, so now I have successfully linked my first view. So to check that, I should run the server again. To run the server, command is python.manage.py. Okay, so if you want to stop the server, the command is Control C. Okay, so if you press Control plus C, so the server will stop. If you want to run your server, the command is python space manage.py console. Okay. So now, so this is the previous default Django landing page. Now we are replacing this with our own homepage. So if I replace now, so here I got as homepage. Okay. So this is how we create our Django projects and create views and link them to respective URLs. Okay. So, but in this process, so yesterday I also shown that how to add HTML code to this. So you can add HTML code as like this. Okay. So if you refresh, so you can see that HTML is getting applied here. But there is but this will be an issue once the project code grows. Okay, so here just one line or a few lines so that it is easy to represent that particular page code in this line. Okay, but our HTML code will be vast for each website. For example, if you open some random website like just YouTube. Okay, so if you check this code, you see the source code of this page, so it will be very large. Okay. So you can't show entire, you can't display entire code in this single line, right? So it will be not easy to manage. Okay, so at a point of time, so once the code reaches higher amount, so it will be not easy to manage, right? So for that purpose, there is a concept called templates. Okay, so Django project architecture runs on MVT architecture, right? So models, views, and templates. Okay, so we have seen about views. So now it is time to divide our HTML code into separate files so that it will be easy to manage. Okay, so let's see about them. Okay, so introduction to Django templates. So Django templates are used to generate dynamic HTML content. Okay, and templates separates the presentation layer from the business logic. Okay, so here business logic part is the views part. Okay, so in views part we will do all the logical part. So whatever the logical conditions or programming conditions we have to do in for that particular view, so we do in that view function, right? So here we are also including the response code as well, which means we are also including the text that we should be displayed on the presentation layer. Presentation layer in the sense your browser. Okay, in the browser you are accessing your website, right? So that is called the presentation layer, which client sees. Okay, so here we are including our presentation layer code also in that view itself. Okay, so but it is mandatory or it is recommended to separate that code so that it will be easy to maintain. Okay, so templates separates the presentation layer from the business logic. So they allow you to define the structure and layout of your HTML documents. Okay, so that it will be easy to manage. Okay, so to do that, what we have to do is we have to create an additional folder called as templates in your each app. Okay, so in each app you have to create yes.
Sir, can you access any views of the second app we created yesterday, blog?
Sorry,
So
I
yesterday
don't understand.
created app blog.
Yes.
So you only accessed my app views.
Mm-hmm.
So how to access a blog?
In this app, there is no blog, right? So for this app, I didn't create my blog. So in this app, I have created only my app, and I am running server for this particular app, so that only this app will run. This particular project will run, and whatever the URLs available in this project, only those will be available. If you want to access that app URLs, you have to go to that app and activate virtual environment, and you should run that app. Then only you can access that particular app URLs.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so you can access this app URLs when you are running that particular project. Okay, so here if you try to access yesterday URLs like about, there is a about page right yesterday, so you'll get page not found error because there is no such page. Okay, here you can see that the available URLs are only admin and with the page name equal to home page. Okay, only these two URLs are available currently. Okay, because so that's what we have created in this project. Okay, so only this path is available, and as well as by default you'll get admin URLs, so those URLs are available. Okay, so if you want to access that particular project URLs, first you should stop the server of this project. Okay, and then you should redirect to that particular yesterday's project. Okay, and you should open this project again in VS Code. Okay, and you should activate the virtual environment of this particular project. Okay, and you should run this project. Okay, so now if you go and access about, so you'll get about page. Okay, because this project has this about page. Okay, this is home
So
page.
can you include views in the blog app and access like this?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
So can you include views in blog app like
Blog
post
app,
and date, insert, delete? Yeah.
blog create. Okay, sorry, post I have given ideas. Yeah, can get
Okay, so
create.
okay.
So whatever the URLs you created in this project, all those URLs will be available. Okay. For my app, I have created a default landing page URL, about page, contact page, greet page with dynamic URL parameters. Okay. And
Okay,
just
sir.
a second, I have to take a call. So yeah, so we can access whatever the URLs that we declared in that particular project. In this particular project, I have created URLs for my app. These are the my app URLs, and in blog app, I have created URLs like create and read. Okay, so I can access these two URLs from this particular app. With so for blog app, there is some subdomain pattern, so which we have mentioned here. So extra blog. So whatever the URL you're accessing from blog app, so that blog app will have this extra uh, blog as subpattern. Okay, so as you can see here,
Can you take urls.py in blog app?
sorry,
Can you take urls.py in the blog app?
can I take?
Can you take urls.py which is in the blog app folder
Okay,
and views.py? Okay, okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, do you have any confusion?
Yes, sir.
Clarify?
Uh, Sir,
Yeah, you can now. Yeah,
sir, what the actual purpose of giving name is equal to?
yeah, that has a purpose. When we enter into the templates folder, we will discuss about that. That has a purpose.
Okay, 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 sir.
Yeah. So for each URL, you should give a unique name so that this name should not be repeated for another path. Okay. For each path,
Okay,
you should have a unique name. So that has a purpose. We will discuss when we enter into this template concept. Oh, anything else?
no, sir.
Okay. So now let us stop this server, deactivate and close this project, and let us back to our discussion. So to create templates, what we have to do is in my app, in your app folder, you have to create a separate folder called as templates. So in the templates folder, again, this is optional process. So in templates folder, again, you have to create your app folder. So in the tab folder, you can create whatever the HTML files you want to create for your project. Okay. So like this. So if you consider this my app as your app folder, so in the tab folder, I am creating again a templates folder. So in the templates folder, I again am creating a folder with your app name, and then in the app name folder, I'm creating the actual HTML pages that should be displayed for your for your each view. Okay. So how to render the templates? To render the templates, so we can create views like this. So instead of previously, we have returned our response using HTTP response. So now we are sending our response from HTML files. So for that, we don't have to import that extra HTTP response. Instead, there is already this render method will be imported. So you can use that render method, and you have to send request as your first parameter, and in the second parameter should be the path of your HTML file. Okay, so for particular HTML file that represents this index request should be represented as a path, and the third option is optional parameter, which is data. Okay, so if you want to send something from backend to front end, so you should send that as in third parameter. So here we can see that as context. So in context, I'm sending a dictionary. In that dictionary, the first one is title and the second one is content. Okay, so those can be accessed on your HTML page. Okay, so like this, you can create templates and send those templates to attach those templates to your particular views, and then send back to presentation layer. Okay, let us see how to do that. Okay, so let us run this project. Okay, so in previously we are accessing views like this. So using HTTP response. So in this HTTP response, we are sending the text whatever that should be displayed on our front end. Okay, but at point of time, so if you want to display a full-fledged website, so it will be not easy to handle that entire code in this particular HTTP response. So for that purpose, we are creating templates. So templates are used to separate your HTML code to separate files. Okay, for that, first what you have to do is open your app folder. So in this app folder, you have to create another folder called as templates. Templates, okay. So in this templates folder, again, you have to create your app folder name, a folder with your app folder name, which is my app. Okay. So in this folder, you can create whatever the HTML files that required for this particular app. Okay, for this I want some home page, right? So for creating home page, what should I do is add homepage.html. Okay, so in this I can create the HTML file for home page. Okay, so the HTML syntax is, so this is the basic syntax. So doc type, so here HTML tag open and close. Okay, so we'll have some header section and the body section, and with this header section we'll have the important meta information and the imports that we should require for this HTML page. And in the body page, in the body section, we will define the actual content that should be displayed on your HTML page. Okay, so now here let us display that H1 home page. So for seeing some modification, this is a home page. Okay, and then I will add some extra paragraphs, temporary paragraphs, just to, so I'm generating some fake text and creating paragraphs. Okay, so I have created a heading and I have created 3 paragraphs of text. Okay, so this will be our dummy homepage. Okay, so now to replace this homepage for this view, what should I do is I should remove this HTTP response. There is no requirement of this HTTP response. So by default in views page you will have this sender method. So what you have to do is render, okay, the request that you are reading in the your view, and then comma, and you should mention the path in quotations. So the path of HTML page. So path will be my app slash homepage dot html. Okay, so here I have attached this HTML page to this view. Okay, so now instead of sending single text, now you can send whatever the content that should be displayed on your page in this HTML page. Okay, so this page will be linked to this home page. Okay, so now if you go and refresh, so if you access your default page, so now you can see that, so this is your default page. Okay, so here you can add whatever the styling you want to apply for this website. So using CSS, so you can apply CSS either in style tags in your header, or you can apply directly by giving style tag to each tag, style attribute to each tag. Okay, so here if we want to make all p values to color blue. Okay, so now if you go to uncheck, so all the paragraphs will be changed to blue color. Okay, so if you want to change the body of your background color of your page, you can do that by body. So body is the entire body section. So background color, so background color is some aqua color. Okay, so previously we have some white color, right? So now if I refresh, I'll get this sky blue color. So text align center. So text align center. So previously my text is in starting position. Now I have moved the text to center position. So let us change this to home page. So like this, you can apply whatever the styling you can apply to this page using in this particular home page. Okay, so let us create one more page for one more view. So let me create one more HTML page as about page dot HTML. So here let us give titles for each page. So here we have title section, right? So in this title section, you can give the title of each page. So if you see, if you save and see here, so if you refresh, so here on the tab you'll get the title page of your each page. You got home page. Okay. So for next page, which is about page, let us view as about page. Okay. So in this about page, I'm giving title as about page, and I'm having some more page text. Okay. So like this, I created about page. So for this also, I am applying some simple style. First, the body background is background color, and let us assign this one to text align center, and color to red. Okay, so I have created a about page. Now let us create a view. So to create a view for about page, return enter equals. So what will be the path for this about page? Can anyone say path?
My app slash uh, about dot page
About
about page dot
underscore page.
html.
Okay, so now we have created a view. So what we should do is we should give a URL to this view. So to do that, you have to go to the URLs page, import about page view, and then path, give a path as about, and then attach the about page name about page. Okay, save. After saving, so now if you go to your HT, your server and type about, so you'll get an about page. So this is your home page and this is your about page. Okay, let me create one more page so that you can navigate from this. So in HTML folder, create what page as contact page. Okay, so I have created a contact page and adding the contact page to a view. So view is okay, and just add this contact page to the path will be like. contact. So now if you access contact, okay, so you get contacts. Okay, so we have created total 3 pages. Okay, so each page has some different style and some different text. Okay, so like this we have created each page. Okay, so here uh, we have created HTML files for each view. So previously we are sending just a single line text or some multiple lines of text. So in that, the disadvantage is we are not able to uh, implement full length HTML content in that HTTP response function. Okay, so for that purpose, we have created a templates section. So in using templates, we are able to separate our presentation layer into different folders. Okay, so here we have separated our code into this HTML file so that we can implement whatever the code we should display for a particular page. Okay, so now so here to access each page, we are navigating by typing each URL, right? But in general, so here if you open some other website like Flipkart, okay. So to access this mobile phones, so you don't have to type this mobile phones each time, right? So because I can simply click on that particular section so that will navigate to that URL. Okay. So let us implement that here in Python. So before that, we should understand about some template language. So after that, we can implement that. Okay. So let us understand about template language. So just like Python, so there is a template language for Django. So which we use Python in our HTML pages. Okay. So it will be just like Python with few syntax codes. So basic template syntax. Okay, so template variables are placeholders for dynamic content. They are enclosed in double curly braces. Okay. So when if in previous examples we didn't send any data from our Python to our HTML pages, right? So if you send the data, so you can access the data in your HTML page using these double quotes. Okay, so these are called as variables in your Django template language. Okay, so this is called as DTL. So this DTL language is like adding your Python script to HTML pages. So actually this can be achieved using JavaScript, but here instead of using JavaScript, we are using this Django template language so that it will be a replacement and it will be just like Python. Okay, so that we can do some logical operations, loop operations in our HTML code with our Python data. Okay, so here what we are doing is, so websites are not just to display some fixed data, right? So there will be some functions. For example, if you are requesting some mobile section in your Flipkart, so you are getting mobiles, right? So uh, if you are requesting clothes, so you are getting clothes. Okay, so there for each URL, your content is dynamically changing. Okay, so that is the actual purpose of website. Okay, there are websites just to display some static content like a landing page of a product. Okay, so for in landing pages of product, what you get is just information about that product and some other contact details. Okay, but there will be some dynamic applications where the content will change dynamically based on the request you made. Okay, for example, if you filter the phones by in budget like 20,000 to 50,000. Okay, so then the products that are displaying on your mobile page will be changed to the budget of 20,000 to 50,000. Okay, so like that, the content will dynamically change. Okay, so those websites are called as dynamic websites. So landing page websites are called as static websites. Okay, so the content will be not changed. How many times you request that website, so that request will send that same display content like product information. Okay, uh, like that. But in dynamic websites, there is a chance of changing content based on your request. Okay, So here, if you send some dynamic content from backend to frontend, so which means from views to these HTML pages, so you can access the data using these double quotes. Okay, so whatever the content that you are sending from Django views to HTML pages, so that you can access that content using this double curly braces. Okay, so for that purpose, we are using curly braces. These are called as variables in templates. Okay, next one is template tags. Okay, so template tags are used to perform logic with templates. Okay, so they are enclosed in curly braces, percentile modulus or percentile symbol, space, modulus, and curly braces, ending curly braces. Okay, so like this, we create tags in these are called as tags in templates. Okay, so common template tags are for loop for okay, so loop over a sequence, if condition, so conditional block, conditional statements, and block, so define a block of content. Okay, so these are the some common template tags that we use. So using these tags, we can do for operation for loops. Okay, so we have discussed the for loops in Python, sorry, in Python, right? So we can implement the same for loops in our HTML using this Django template language. Okay, and we can also implement if conditions. So if condition in the sense, for example, I want to display some content if a condition is satisfied. Okay, else I don't want to display. So that can be achieved using this Django template tags. Okay, and next block of content. So this block of content will be useful you are dividing your when you are dividing your common code into separate files that we will discuss later. Okay, so like this there are some different types of tags that will make your work easy. Okay, so using this by adding your by integrating your Python skills into this front end part, so it will be easy to make logical conditions and it will be easy to create for loops. Okay, so we'll see one by one. So next topic is template filters. So template filters are used to modify the value of variables. So we have discussed about already variables. So variables are nothing but the data we are sending from our Django views to HTML files. Okay, so those are called as variables. So using filters, you can modify the data. For example, like if you sending data date from backend to front end, so you can modify the date according to your format. Okay, so that can be done using these filters. There are several filters like date, length, lower. So length will return the length of items. Okay, in Django we have length function, right? So using length function, we can find length of our list, tuple, or dictionary items. Okay, so the same similarly we have here length filter. So the filters can be applied with by after a variable you have to apply a pipe symbol, and after pipe symbol you can apply the available filters. Okay, so in these examples you can see that today's date is in today we will send the date from backend to front end. So that is today variable. So after that we have used the pipe symbol. So pipe symbol is used to apply filters. Here the filter is date filter. So here we have formatted the date to this particular codes using F, J, and Y. Okay, so that have some meaning. So I will show that, and then number of items. Okay, so here items is you can consider these items are list of items. So to mention to get the length of the list of items, I have used a filter symbol which is pipe symbol, and then I mentioned length so that here I will get the length of these items. Okay, so now let us see how to send some data from backend to frontend, and let us see how to access that data. Okay, okay. So previously we were just sending some static data, so fixed data. So if you see all the HTML pages have some fixed data like home page, about page. Okay, so if you access So it doesn't matter how many times you access this URLs, you'll get this fixed data. Okay. So now to add some dynamic data into this. Okay. So like in this views, so I'm sending some my own paragraph. Okay. So I'm sending a text. This is my own text that should be displayed on front. Okay. So this is my own paragraph. Okay. So I can send this paragraph to front end as a third parameter. So with dictionary, so I can send as text, uh, whatever the name we can give my text column and attach this variable. Okay. My own paragraph. Okay. So now I'm sending a data from our view function to this HTML page. Okay. So with a name called as my text, so you can send in the dictionary form. So for this names, you can use this name should be a text, but the value can be any data type. Okay. So you can send list, string, number. Okay. Whatever you can send in this value or value area, but name should be the name that you can access. So this will be the actual variable name that we can access on our front end. Okay. And this will be the value part attached to this variable name. Okay. So now I'm saving this. So to access this my text at this homepage.html, so I have to go to homepage.html. So now here I'm trying to access that my paragraph. So we can access those center data in double curly braces. Okay, open double curly braces and close the double curly braces, and now access that variable with the name we have sent here. Okay, so here we have sent that name as my text, right? So using the same variable name, you can access as my text. Okay, and now save, and now go to your home page. Now refresh. So here you get this is my own text that should be displayed on front end. Okay. So like this, we can send different types of data. So for sending multiple data, I'm creating a dictionary as context. And in this context, I'm creating dictionaries with my own text paragraph, count 345, okay, quantity, function, purchase. So here you can directly send as context. Okay, so here we created a context variable. So in this context dictionary, I'm sending multiple multiple values. So previously we have just directly sent a dictionary to this. Okay. So but when you are sending some n number of items, it will be not. It doesn't look nice by directly sending dictionary. For that purpose, I simply created a dictionary to this variable and accessing that variable here so that it will be easy to look. Okay. So here I'm sending three parameters to our front end. Okay. So first one is my own paragraph. So let us give this as my text. Next one is count and third parameter is quantity. Okay. So here we are already accessing my text. Okay. So if you see here, so I'm already accessing my text. Now I want to access other parameters. So you can access other parameters as, so next one is count, right? So the count is like this. So now if you go and refresh, so here you can see the count is 345. Okay, so which I sent from the back end to front end. Okay, so the count 345. Okay, next one is quantity. So you can access that quantity as quant. Okay, so now if you go and refresh, you can see the quantity as 6.4. Okay, so like this, you can send whatever the data from front end to from back end to front end. So using these template variables. Okay, so now this is also kind of static data, right? So how many times you request, you'll get the same data. Okay, so to make it dynamic, you have to make some dynamic content views handle. So for that, I'm creating another view called as get user. Okay, so in this user, I want user ID. Okay, and let us implement this. Okay, first let us create a dictionary of users. Users equal to a dictionary of user with ID 1. We have name, Rajesh, age, 43, email, shelter. Okay, so like this, let us create users. Okay, I have created 4 users. Okay, so with details like name, age, and email, and each have some ID which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here I got user ID. So I can filter, I can get the user by user equal to. So to read dictionary data, what is the syntax? So if I want to read a user ID with 1, so what is the syntax? The syntax is users 1. Okay, so if I access like this, I will get all the details of this particular user. Okay, same way. So here I will get the user details by I am storing that user details in this user variable. So in this user variable, I am filtering the user ID that I am requesting. Okay, so user ID. So with that, I will get whatever the user ID I pass to this URL. So that particular user ID data will be filtered into this user variable. Okay. So now I want to send this as a response to front end. Okay. So for that, first I have to create a page which is called as users.html. Okay. Or as user details. Okay. Okay. So this is our let us take, consider this as our HTML page. Okay. So margin is the gap between a gap between all the sides of the text. That means so here. Okay. So let us take this. So let us add this return render request path will be my app slash user details dot html, and I'm sending the data as user data. Okay. So now let us give a URL to this get user path get user. So here we should give the dynamic data, right? So the dynamic data will be like user ID. Okay, so here we are additionally expecting a parameter called as user ID. So that user ID should be, we should get that using URL. Okay, contact, get user, name, get user. Okay, so like this we can create the dynamic URL. So now to access, if you try to access this slash get user, so we should pass the required user ID. So which is I'm taking a user ID one. So here I got user details, but I didn't display any user details here. Okay. So here I'm simply, so to display the user details, name, name equal to, so I'm accessing user. So here I'm sending the data as user, right? So this user will be sent. So to access the data, simply I can access as name. Sorry, can access the data as, okay, so I can access directly. So to access name, you can simply access as name. Okay, so if you check by refreshing, you will get name equal to Rajesh. So let us give some padding. Okay, next I'm accessing name, next age, right? So age equal to age. Okay, and next I have email, email equal to, okay, so this name, age, email are the values that each dictionary have, right? So here I'm sending a user ID in the URL, so that user ID is getting read into this variable, this parameter, and that parameter, using that parameter, we are filtering the user details. Okay, so from this dictionary, and we storing that user details in a user variable, and we are sending that user variable as output response to this particular HTML page, so that user where this user data will be sent to this HTML page. So in this dictionary, so we are able to access all the parameters. Okay. So now if I refresh, so I can access all the user details of user ID 1. Okay. So now if I try to access with user ID 3, so I'll get Suresh details. Okay. Suresh 23, Suresh at the rate gmail.com. Okay. So if I try to access user ID 4, okay. So I'll get Vignesh details. Okay. Vignesh 33, Vignesh at the rate gmail. Okay. So like this, we can generate some dynamic data using the same page. Okay, so here the page is fixed. Only the data is changing based on the ID you sent here. You sent here. Okay, so like that you can change the data. So let us continue this tomorrow. So for today, let us you guys try to create views and create templates. Okay, so in the templates, create basic HTML pages and try to link those HTML pages into your views, and then try to send some data from your views to front end. So using these parameters, and then read the data into your front end using these double quotes, double curly braces tags. Okay. So this is today's task. Okay, so create views and templates and add the and attach those templates to your views and send some data from your views to frontend. Okay, any doubts or questions from today's topics?
No, sir.
Okay, practice it. Thank you.